I've played the like strong, militant brown woman in so many, not so many, but like in like quite a few works and in quite a few dance spaces, but still having who I am erased from the conversation in the development, but being hired basically to perform this goddess intense thing, which isn't my whole being and isn't what I would hope the only thing is that I have to offer. Nagadangu ko Jahra, Nagadai Keito Wakamatapu Vale Ma Wasasala. I am Fijian and Palangi, born and raised in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Aona marama ni sorokumba ki madawate iwa I viti. I am a world builder, movement psychopomp, writer of realms. I sound like a wizard. But hey, if it fits. Yep, that's what I do. It's been really interesting trying to find English language that holds what I feel like I do, because I feel like it's so expansive and multifaceted and moves into different areas and different characters and different creatures and different skill sets that being a dancer or being a poet or, it doesn't fit for me in a way that I feel like can encompass what any of us actually do, to be honest. So at the moment, world builder feels the best. I think in a creative, physical sense, the collaboration with my own body is, it's an ongoing one. Because again, like, we're trained as dancers that we think of a thing and the body will do the thing. I think there's something about the relationship and the collaboration with the body, because it is a collaboration. You have to navigate and negotiate and be in talanoa with it. Not even just when you're dancing, but before you even start. Like, it's also like, how do I feel today? What is sore today? Is this technique working for me, or should I do this kind of method? The talanoa and conversations around like protection and being held and being mentored and being guided and actually being initiated not by yourself. Like, there are so many parts of that which institutions don't facilitate, which we can only really get from our own or from people who are connected to a similar space. Especially with my mahi and like poetry or like the spoken word scene, there's a lot of spaces where trauma is currency, and learning that trauma or that wound space is a thing of value to be offered to people to be able to be somewhere. And I think institutions also encourage that. I was working in a way when I was probably in my late teens, early 20s, and I was doing a lot of like solo performance and solo works, and I really thought that staying in the wound and showing it to people was the deep mahi. And a part of that is, but I hadn't shifted that to being in the development. Instead, it was sitting in the performance, and that was stripping me of so much. And I would be really fucked up for like 2 weeks after I would do a performance or an activation or a show. I wouldn't be able to talk. I wouldn't be able to function that well. In my facilitation mahi that I have with younger artists, I'm very consistent about knowing that when you offer work to like openly public people, it's much more impactful for yourself and for your growth to offer the residue of the things that you have been doing either personally or with community. And that's been one of the best things that I've learnt a little bit the hard way. Writing the current mythology of what matters to us now and seeing that manifest is pretty incredible. Whether it be in ourselves or in our environment or in young people. Like that is the most, I think, exciting thing for me. Which I think comes back to actually seeing what imagination can do when it's part of our talanoa, not just with having to deal with all this stuff, but when we're actually resourced enough, when we are resourced enough to be able to imagine, when we are rested enough to imagine, when we are fed enough, when we are loved enough, when we are feeling like we have been outside enough to actually imagine. I think that's what's exciting to me, because that is the thing I have to remember or I am lost. So I think imagination is pretty exciting.